From the Jonathan Majors controversy taking away from the movies to fans even suggesting replacements who could take over the role from the star, here's everything you need to know about Avengers Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars getting delayed. For starters, Marvel has officially delayed their Avengers projects because of Majors. Marvel Studios is still figuring out what to do with Star because he's got some legal trouble going on. And because of that, Disney is holding off on releasing their new superhero project that was supposed to feature his character, Kang the Conqueror. Back in March, everyone was like, whoa, when they heard about a big fight between Majors, the big bad from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. The fight was so intense that the dude ended up getting arrested, and now he's facing assault and harassment charges. But fans don't really know what's been happening with his court case. Apparently, there was a court appearance on June 13th, but we haven't heard any updates about it. Since all this drama went down, Jonathan has been pretty much kicked out of Hollywood. His agency dumped him in April, and they even edited him out of the marketing stuff for Creed 3, which was supposed to come out on Prime Video on June 9th. But of course, Marvel hasn't made any big statements just yet. They're ignoring the big problem in the room. And honestly, it's not surprising, because Kang is supposed to be the next major villain in the upcoming phases of the MCU. This time-traveling supervillain is also supposed to be a big deal in Season 2 of Loki on Disney+. But weirdly enough, he was nowhere to be seen in the early footage shown in May. The internet has been going crazy with rumors about recasting ever since Majors got arrested, but none of those rumors seem to be gaining much traction. Marvel is understandably still figuring out what their next play is. But they did make a bold move on Disney+ before the release of the assembled special for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Originally, the special was supposed to come out on June 14th, but that day came and went, and guess what? No Ant-Man. Now they're not even giving us a clue about when they're going to release it. It's delayed indefinitely, and Disney hasn't given any explanation for it. But the delay is probably because of all the controversy surrounding Majors. Releasing the special could have made the company and its actors look bad, especially if they were singing his praises and talking about how great he was in the film. Right now, it's hard to say if or when the assembled special will ever show up on Disney+. They'll most likely hold off until there's some progress in the actor's trial, but even that seems unlikely considering the seriousness of the charges against Majors. But just what does that mean for the future of the franchise? For now, it seems things are in a state of limbo. The actor keeps saying he's innocent, but Kang is a big deal for Marvel in the next few years, especially with movies like Avengers, the Kang Dynasty in the works. So, Kevin Feige and the other Marvel bigwigs are gonna have to make some tough choices about Majors, and they better do it soon. Maybe the delay of Assembled is just another example of Disney and Marvel pushing things back lately. Or who knows, maybe they'll just scrap it altogether, which could mean it's one of Majors' last projects with the superhero studio, or even Hollywood in general. Though a lot of fans been out of the loop on the situation and unsure how it spiraled so out of control. Well, it all started on March 25th. Things got real messy for Majors in Manhattan. Cops were called and TMZ was all over it. Turns out Majors and Jabari were in a cab having a heated argument about some text messages from another woman. When the officers showed up, Jabari said she'd been assaulted and ended up in the hospital with minor injuries to her head and neck. The initial complaint said Majors put his hand on Jabari's neck, causing bruises and pain, and even smacked her in the face, leaving a cut behind her ear. Then, on May 9th, the DA's office filed an updated complaint based on Jabari's side of the story. She claims Majors grabbed her arm, twisted it, and even messed with her fingers. To top it all off, she said Majors used both hands to push her back into a car, making her fall backward. When Majors was arrested, the charges included strangulation, but that got dropped later that day. Now he's facing charges of assault, harassment, attempted assault, and aggravated harassment. Things aren't looking good for him. So just how has he responded to all of this? Majors' lawyers are going all out to defend him, claiming that he's a victim of racism and domestic violence. According to his lawyer, Priya Chowdhury, he's totally innocent, and the whole incident happened because the woman involved was going through some serious emotional stuff. Chowdhury is confident that the charges will be dropped soon, and she's got plans to submit evidence like video footage from the car and testimonies from witnesses to back up their case. Chowdhury even released some text messages where the woman herself said she didn't want any charges and that the whole strangulation thing was made up. They also got Major's driver on board, ready to testify that the woman attacked Jonathan while trying to steal his phone. Priya's arguing that Majors didn't cause any of the injuries the woman claimed, and she's got security camera footage to prove it. She says that the footage shows Jabari doing things without any signs of pain or swelling. The defense lawyer also dropped a bomb, saying that a cop coached the woman to falsely accuse Majors of choking her, which makes it seem like there's some bias against the MCU star because he's a black man. In a letter to the judge, Priya said that Major's ex-girlfriend actually hurt herself, and that there are multiple witnesses who will testify to support Major's side. The defense team is even planning to show body camera footage to expose alleged favoritism towards the woman by the police. It's clear that his team isn't holding back, but that may all be pointless if they can't get the public on their side. After news of the arrest got out, a couple of people working in entertainment and theater took to Twitter to express their concerns about Majors, hinting at rumors they'd heard about his alleged behavior. One person even said it was a shame it took so long for him to be called out. On the flip side, some fans rushed to defend Jonathan, stating he was unfairly targeted because he's black, while others were more worried about the future of the Marvel franchise. When Major's legal team released the supposed text messages from the woman involved in the arrest, some tabloids, like the New York Post, claimed the texts prove his innocence. But experts in domestic violence warned people not to jump to conclusions just yet. They pointed out that abusers often manipulate survivors into thinking they're at fault for the violence. And on Twitter, the impact of those texts didn't quite go as planned for Jonathan's defense. One tweet that went viral basically said, saying I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone isn't the strong move that Jonathan Majors and his lawyers think it is. Lee Goodmark, a law professor and expert on gender-based violence, also advised against making definitive judgments based solely on these messages. She stated they can be interpreted in different ways, and that they don't definitively prove Major's innocence or show the woman being controlled. The truth may lie somewhere in the messy middle. It's safe to say Jonathan is in unknown waters, and so fans are wondering if Marvel does consider recasting Kang's character. Who's going to be the replacement? Some Marvel fans on Twitter have been vocal about their desire to see John Boyega take on the role of Kang. You know, the guy who played Finn in Star Wars. They think it would be a fantastic career comeback for him. And it's not a crazy suggestion. Boyega is a talented actor who's shown his skills in both action-packed and dramatic roles. He's got the range to bring Kang's charm and complexity to life. So, yeah, he'd be a solid choice. But hold on a sec, there are other contenders too. People are throwing around names like Idris Elba and Javier Bardem as possible candidates. The competition is tough, but Marvel hasn't made any official announcement yet. Fans don't even know if they're going to recast Majors. Marvel is keeping us all in suspense. So from fans suggesting replacements who could take over the role from the star, to Marvel officially delaying the films due to the Jonathan Majors controversy, that was everything you needed to know about Avengers Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars getting delayed.